Restarting right now. Good grief. Computer wants me to restart. I'm like, mhm. Okay, see the Facebook one with the countdown. Yeah. 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 I'm saying I see the Facebook one. I'm trying to get YouTube up. They can hear me. Hey, this is Tamara from Moogly, and I want to thank you so much for joining me today. As always, technically interesting going live for sure. And I've got weird pop-ups happening. All right, I think we're good. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much, and thanks for joining us and waiting patiently for the live to start. I'm excited to talk to you today here. It is almost the end of March already, which blows my mind. I was working on the next crochet along square last night, and I realized it was number 7 already. And because I was thinking about like, gosh, am I gonna have enough of my colors for the crochet along, you know? There was those couple skeins I was using up those last bits of, and I realized, my gosh, we're already almost a third of the way through the year of squares, which when you think about it that way is just too much. So moving on, let's talk about some other stuff that's been going on. I've got lots of great things to share with you today. And of course, the latest crochet along square is one of them. And this is the one where I had the flu. I tell you, we had a really couple of tough weeks here at the Moogly household. My middle child came home from college with a sinus infection, came home for spring break, I should say, with a sinus infection. And by the end of the week, it was influenza A. So we were all sick and we're finally better. Myself included, maybe a little bit of a lingering cough. You might hear that. And my voice might go by the end, but let me tell you, we got through it. It's gonna be alright. We now have our immunity, hopefully, for the year, and fingers crossed for a healthy spring. I hope you guys have been staying healthy too. It seems like probably 70% of the people I know got this thing, so it was a nasty germ out there, and I really hope everybody is staying as healthy as possible. But while I was ill, I did get this would have been square number 6 done with some errors on my part. So when you look at the pictures on the blog post, make sure you're looking at Mary Beth's pictures, not mine. Hers are the correct ones. Here is how my square turned out. And this is the graduated cable square by MBT Creates, also known as Mary Beth Temple. And you can see it is a really unique one. This one is worked in rows. And I did really well, except for this stripe right here. That I guess it was a 6-stitch cable pattern and, the flu that was in my brain were not a good combo, so I screwed it up, but you know what? I still think it turns out really nice. I think it's really pretty, and for me, I've been doing these blankets for so many years now, and because of the process, I get the squares sometimes before they've been fully tested. I'm one of the testers, so, there might be a mistake or 2 when I make it as well. But I actually kind of love that for me, when I can look back at the blanket, I can see, "Oh, well, that's the month I had the flu, that's the month this happened, that was spring break," and actually kind of use those as memories. So I'm rolling with it. If I had all the time in the world, maybe I'd remake the square, but I kind of like having the memory of the year, when I look back at that blanket and I know what happened. So this is what the back of the square looks like, really nice and clean. This one is a more advanced square, no joke. Whether or not you have the flu, you're working cable patterns and you're going to be working with at any one time, I believe it's 6. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There goes my brain. 9 bobbins at once as you work up this pattern. And I do recommend that you use the bobbins if you're using big skeins of yarn. If you're using little skeins, you might be able to get away with it. And I know there's at least one person on the group who said she did not use bobbins and her square turned out beautifully. But for me and my level of patience, I highly recommend that you make the bobbins, even if you have to make a couple for each square or each stripe because they turn out to be a little bigger than you thought. Again, I will use the flu as my excuse for this one, but I really did enjoy it. I think it's a beautiful square. I'm seeing some gorgeous versions of it in the group. And like I say, it's a little bit more advanced. If you're a brand new crocheter, you might want to swap this one out with one of the past ones and then try this one again a little bit later in the year. But if you're an adventurous newbie, I think with some determination and bright lighting and patience and reading carefully, I think it is definitely a beautiful square to make. Be sure to read my notes on it because while I made mistakes, I pointed out where those mistakes were to help you not make the same ones. So fingers crossed. I think it turned out really well. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys like it. It really is a beautiful square. The mistakes were definitely my own. We'll put it that way. For my squares this year, I'm using up my stash of Red Heart with Love. You can see it is slowly disappearing behind me. I'm trying to use up these colors. Lovely yarn, but I acquired a large stash of it, so I'm trying to work through that a little bit, clear out some space for some new stuff. So we also have a brand new pattern on Moogly right now, the Matcha Cream Tote Bag doing my best to try and when it's appropriate, use my food-inspired names this year. I think it's a fun theme for 2025. So this one is right here. This is the matcha cream tote bag. You can see this is a beautifully drapey yarn, isn't it? This is the first time I'd used this yarn, so I thought a tote bag. I don't know, something about the colors were saying tote bag to me, and I was in the mood to make one. So I thought I would try it out with this, and it is just a gorgeous yarn. If I'd had more than 3 skeins, I only used 2 for the tote bag, but if I'd had more than 3 in my possession, I might have tried to make a sweater with it. It's just really, really lovely stuff. You can see just how soft this is, and I think this is a great way to have a tote bag. It's got a really nice, solid single crochet stitch bottom, so your things aren't gonna fall out, but the sides and body of it are this open mesh, which makes it lighter weight, and of course, you can see just how drapey and small it folds up, so you can, stick it in your larger bag before you head out for the day and have a tote bag with you. I did come back to the green here for the top. We did some solid rows, and for this one, I went ahead and built the oh, did you hear my dog go crazy? Must be somebody in the neighborhood. So these are handles that are built right in. I crocheted those right with that yarn so you don't have to purchase extra handles. I kept it this length. For me, this is kind of the over the arm length, which is where I like to have my totes. But if you prefer more of the over the shoulder length, there is plenty of yarn left. Let's see. I've got this much left from the skein after I made this little sample for our video tutorial that will come out tomorrow. So you've definitely got some yarn left. If you want to make these handles longer, you can just chain longer. It's pretty clear in the pattern and it will be even clearer in the video tutorial that comes out tomorrow. Um, but you can make these handles, obviously, whatever length you'd like. It's very easy to do. And you just want to make sure, of course, you do it for both of them. So it is a really lovely pattern. This is a gorgeous yarn. Like I say, I hadn't had a chance to use it before. Unfortunately, when I went and looked it up, it was just when I had on my shelf. When I went to look it up, looked like it might be getting discontinued soon. I have no inside information on that. I am literally basing that on the very good sale price that it's currently under. So if you want to check it out, when I was writing up the pattern, it was on a big, big sale discount. So I was like, okay, maybe it's going away, or maybe it was just on a really good sale. Either way, good timing, I guess, or bad timing. This is the yarn. It is Universal Yarn Boreo, which I am sure people have told me how to pronounce it, and I'm sure I've completely memorized the wrong one. But it is a really lovely yarn. It's 80% tencel, 20% wool. And if you wanted to make this pattern without a wool yarn, which I totally understand, not everybody likes working with wool, then honestly, this is officially, is it a 4 or a 3? I'll have to look. I think it's a 4. So you can use whatever, really whatever yarn you like. It's a tote bag. If yours ends up being half an inch smaller or larger than mine, it's a tote bag. It'll be fine. So I think you could really use any yarn you probably wanted to for this pattern. It's just going to turn out to be a different size. But I really did very much enjoy working with this yarn. So hopefully it's not being discontinued because it really is lovely stuff and it has a great feel to it. Like I say, it's 80% tencel, 20% wool. I haven't rubbed it on my neck yet. I'm not getting the scratchies, when you get with wool yarns. So really is lovely, and, it was great to work with. I did not find it terribly splitty or anything like that, and you can see it in action in that video tutorial that comes out tomorrow. It should have right and left-handed versions as well. So that is up now, and I'm so glad you guys like it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's see what else. We've got the North Star beanie now has its video tutorials up as well. This was the North Star beanie I came up with. This was a one skein pattern featuring knit picks or we crochet hawthorn DK weight. So this is a really lovely yarn. This is one of those ones that comes in a hank. So you need to wind it up. And we had some people surprised last time. So if you didn't realize, knit picks and we crochet, they are the same company. So if you like the yarn, if you say, oh gosh, I liked that yarn over on Knit Picks, same yarns over on We Crochet. So you can check those out on either one. Really lovely stuff. I really enjoyed working with that one as well. Let's see. And then that's kind of it for the new things. It's been a busy month. I've been getting ready for a lot of trips and things, but we've got lots of giveaways going on. So our newest giveaway is the Jimmy Beans Wool Beanstalk Worsted. I want to make sure I got that right. Let me pull out a couple skeins here of this yarn. Here we are. This is this yarn. Isn't that pretty? Look at that shine on that. What did you call this? I'd call this orangey brown. It's like, what do I wanna call this color? It is officially called Rye Knot. How fun is that? So beanstalk worsted is a 100% anti-pilling acrylic. So it's 100% acrylic. You can see it's very shiny. I have not gotten any fuzz as I've been working with this, and I have been putting this yarn through its paces. I've been participating in the Jimmy Beans Wool blanket kit club, however you want to put that. Their blanket club. It comes in kits. Every month you get a new yarn, new instructions, and I am just finished the 3rd month. I put up the videos yesterday of the pieces I've made. Let me show you a few of them right here. This is really gorgeous stuff. So you can see how this yarn works up and just how shiny it is. These are some of the squares. And you can see I am, as always, not great about weaving in my ends. I'll get to them eventually. But I sort of half blocked these sort of halfway through. I like to do a little bit of blocking. Some of these squares are blocked, some are not, before I assemble them. But these are the squares, and this is an interesting blanket. If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's not just a bunch of squares we're putting together, but there are stripes as well. And this is my biggest section so far. It's got our 3 colors that we're doing. And I don't know if you can see the texture on this, but this blanket pattern, let me tell you, it's designed by Lena Skvagerson, whose last name I'm sure I mispronounced, but I do my best. Lena's a wonderful person and a fantastic designer. And I am really loving this pattern. I'm telling you, this section was done with short rows. I've never seen short rows done quite like this before. This was a really fun section. I'm trying some new stitches I've never even tried before. Started off with the linen stitch. It had me lulled into complacency. I am learning so much as I go on this blanket myself. New stitches, new ways to put them together. I'm really enjoying it. There's another stripe section right here. It's kind of hard to see that cable with the shine. It's a little easier to see in person, but really, really, like I said, I'm enjoying with working with it. I've been handling, reblocking, and reworking on this section for a few months now, and you can see just how well that yarn is holding up. It's not fuzzing, it's not pilling, it's not doing anything it's not supposed to do. So I am really enjoying working with it. So I reached out to them and I said, "Hey, I'm loving this kit club. Can we do a giveaway with the yarn? I want to share this with the people." So here's another color of it. This one is really pretty. It's sort of a pale blue. This one is called Mint to be. So I guess you could say it's a mint color. But really, really pretty colors here. These ones will be coming up later in the year with the Kit Club, but I'm really excited. I don't have the instructions yet for month number 4, so I have to eagerly await them with everybody else, and I cannot wait. Really lovely stuff to work with. So I'm excited that we get to give away 5 skeins of it, 1 lucky winner. So definitely do enter that one. Yes, if you want to order it, it's available from Jimmy Beans Wool. I definitely have links to it in the giveaway. So if you go to the giveaway on mooglyblog.com, I've got some great links that I'd love you to use to go check that out. And of course, I've linked the giveaway and everything else I'm talking about today in today's blog post on mooglyblog.com, the very first one. If you want to run around me, you can go straight to jimmybeanswool.com and definitely check out Beanstalk Worsted right there. I'm not sure if it's on the front page today. You know, everybody's always moving their home pages around to make them pretty, but it is definitely on there and it is some lovely stuff. And definitely check out that blanket kit club too. It is a lot of fun. Let's see. So what else? That's not the only yarn we're giving away right now. Bernat Blanket All-in-One Granny yarn. And I think I got that in the right order. It might be Bernat All-in-One Granny Blanket. Either way, that one has 6 brand new colorways out as well. So I'm working with Yarn Inspirations this month to bring you that particular giveaway. And I don't have any of the new colors. I've only seen them online, but I know they're out there. They just debuted. There's some really fun ones. So definitely check that out as well. We've got 2 yarn giveaways going on right now, which I'm really excited about. And then, of course, we've got a couple more, which are almost wrapping up, just a couple weeks left on these. We've got the Crochet Cute Forest Friends giveaway. This is a book by Sarah Zimmerman. My friend Sarah runs Repeat Crafter Me, and she, of course, designs all kinds of super cute crochet items on her blog, blankets, amigurumi, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, she's just super fun. So this is her 2nd book, and I just happen to have 2 copies of it. And I thought, why be greedy? I don't need 2. I can only crochet from 1. So I decided to give away my extra copy to 1 lucky winner. Another thing I had, it's been a big month for me to clean out a little bit. I had a second set here, or a spare set, I should say, of the Susan Bates Twist and Lock Interchangeable Crochet Hook Deluxe Set with Case. So many words. Here we are. This thing. This set of crochet hooks, 2 handles, 2 yarn cutters. I think one of the hooks fell out of its case and is running around the bottom of the package right now. Oh, there it was. It was peeking out for a second. It's down there, but it's in there. And this has a beautiful leather case that folds together and zips up and holds everything right where you need it. You can kind of see how the hooks work right there. They really are a joy to use. If you like a larger handle, they're great. And I like that you have sort of all your basic sizes. It's your most commonly used ones, I think, for most crocheters. It goes F through K. So F through K handles, or I should say hooks, attachments included. So really lovely stuff. I have a couple questions here. Great questions. I love to answer them if I can. Let's see. So yes, Shannon, go to Jimmy Bean's if you're in Reno. That is lovely. In fact, jumping ahead a little bit here on my list, I will be at the Crochet Guild of America Chain Space Retreat in Reno this summer, and we're going to be taking a trip to Jimmy Bean's Wool as part of that. I'm lucky enough to have been there a couple of times before, so I'm super excited to be going back and check out, of course, more of the beanstalk worsted and all of the other really gorgeous yarns they have there. They've got their own yarns, and they've also got ones that they bring in from around the world. In fact, last time I was there, I was really excited that they had also some yarns from Hedgehog Fibers, which is a place that I'd been able to actually go to on our trip to Ireland. So that was a really neat full circle moment to come back to Reno and be like, oh my gosh, here's this yarn that I fell in love with in Ireland. So it really is a lovely place. Next question I got was, is Yarn Inspirations still shipping to the US? Yes, I believe the Yarn Inspirations is still shipping to the US and Canada as of this moment. Don't hold me to it 5 minutes from now because life is crazy. It's 2025, but as far as I know right now, yes, shipping is still working everywhere. Absolutely. So Shannon, that would be amazing if you did the retreat this year. I'd love to see you there. It's a small one. I think they're limiting it to something like 100 people. So it's going to be really intimate and fun. I'm going to be teaching there. And of course, I will be there for the whole event as well, having fun with everybody. So very excited to do that this summer. So let's see. Coming back. Oh, thank you so much, Nancy. That's so sweet. That was a really lovely comment. And Sunta and Nessa, thank you so much. Yes, they are fun hooks to use. They're really nice to hold on to. I find as I get older, especially if I try to use one of those, like those tiny little steel hooks for thread crochet, my fingers are not happy. The bigger the handle these days, the happier my hands are. So now I get to talk about, oh gosh, this is where I have trouble. I'm like, what do I want to talk about next? This is where it starts to get really fun. I've got sneak peeks, I've got an unboxing, and then I've got the events that I'm going to be at later this year that I want to talk to you guys about. So let's just jump right into the sneak peeks. I have 3 new patterns ready to go for next month. So 3 of them already made. And this is an old one. This is not a new one. This may be familiar, right? This is our heart-shaped cloth. It is a granny stitch cloth. It's similar to, I've got an Easter egg granny cloth. I've got a 3-leaf clover one, St. Patrick's Day-ish. Fitting 4 is actually really hard, but I've got a 3-leaf clover for March. This is, like I say, an old one, and this one has been in the back of my head. I said, I've got a heart. What else can I do? And I finally did it. I made all the symbols for the card suite. So we've got the spade, we've got the diamond, and we've got the club. And if you look closely, you'll see these are navy blue. I did not have black yarn, and when the inspiration struck, I had to use what was to hand. So I used it's called bright navy, but sort of navy blue to stand in for my black. And I got them all to be just as close as I could for sizing so that we have a set of all 4 that go together. And I don't know about you guys, but I love playing cards with friends. It's been one of my favorite hobbies since I was a kid, when I was playing with my brothers and sisters. So when I had the heart, I thought, and then I made that clover, and it was really close to a club. And it was funny when I was learning how to play cards, I kept forgetting the names of the sweets. So I used to call these ones the clovers. So in my brain, they're all mixed up anyway. But I realized I was pretty close. I was halfway there. I'm showing you the back. Here's the front. So I reworked it. You can see how I used the heart here as inspiration to come up with that one. And then, of course, the diamond is just a really simple sort of angled square. But I thought that was a lot of fun. And I love the endless possibilities with these, right? They could be washcloths, they could be dishcloths, they could be lightweight trivets. Think about it if you're having a game night, right? Throw these out on the table along with some bowls of snacks and things or on the countertop. I think they're just really festive. So I used Lily Sugar and Cream to make these. It's a 100% worsted weight cotton, sort of a good basic. Everybody's got it available, right? It's in anywhere where you can find yarn. You're usually going to find that particular one. I'm sorry, my nose is running like crazy. There we go. All right, so I use Lily Sugar and Cream, but I want to encourage you to be creative with it. You could just as easily use Red Heart Super Saver, especially if it's for decor. You could use, several strands of yarn held together, or a great big bulky one like Bernat Blanket Big. If you want to do like wall decor for, say, if you were doing a casino night, fundraiser, party at your house, whatever it might be. Also, think about working these up in thread. They'd make great little coasters, or, in fingering weight yarn, you could probably get coasters and thread. You could do like a garland would be really fun. So I'm consider these sort of like more motifs, right? Shapes, basic instructions that then you can have some fun with. And I love this. Nessa says they can be joined and made into a blanket too for folks who love cards or casinos. Absolutely. I will say I have already figured out how to turn this one into a square, and that pattern's already up. I think it's the heart-filled square. That's what I called it. So because it was the heart-shaped cloth, heart-filled square. So I did turn this one into a larger square. So if you guys want to see these turned into squares as well, definitely let me know. I feel like this one might be tricky, but we'll figure it out. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So thank you. I agree. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you like them. Oh, yes, and you said it made it very nice with the scrubby yarn. Yes, originally this one was made with Red Heart. Hold up the right side. There we are. This one was originally made with Red Heart Scrubby Smoothie. This particular one was made with Lily Sugar and Cream because I think I must have given away the original to a family member or something. So I had to remake it. But you could absolutely, like I say, use whatever yarn you like. So Lily Sugar and Cream is what I happen to use for these. It's what I had on hand and seemed like the right choice. But I think they're just a lot of fun. So I'm excited to finish the set out and share those 3 patterns with you guys next month. So that's your fun little sneak peek of what's coming up next. I try as we head into spring to mix in especially some of these smaller patterns, right? We're getting busy, we're traveling. It's the weather hopefully will warm up eventually. And then it'll probably be too hot and we'll be complaining about that. So we need these small little projects, right? I don't know about you, but when it's 90 degrees out, I don't really want to be making a blanket. I don't like the way it lays on my lap. So I love having small things like tote bags and motifs. And even if you do want to make a blanket, making squares, smaller things that can come together later. So I'm so glad you like those. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And then let's just keep it rolling. I have a box. I am looking into working with this company. They approached me. As you can see, I have not yet opened the box yet. I am very, very curious about this. This is Valari is the company. You can see there. The other side has my name on it and my address, so I'm not going to turn that around. But I am going to go ahead and open it right up with you guys. Now, I will say they did send me an email saying it will take a couple of days for this to sort of expand. So that's a big clue to what it is, right? This is essentially, if you haven't seen these before, these are crafting pillows. And it reminds me, all I've seen so far is pictures, but it reminds me a lot of when my kids were little and I had something, I think it was called the Boppy, which was sort of a big crescent-shaped waist pillow that I used for holding and feeding the kids, and it gave a lot of arm and shoulder support. And so one of the things, of course, we talk about anytime we talk about hand health and arm health and shoulder health in relation to crochet and crafting is we talk about arm support. A lot of times people will say, especially if their tension is off all the time, I say put a pillow under each shoulder or under each elbow rather. Really support your arms. When we get fatigued and do things like that, that's when our tension changes. So, Valari has come up with a pillow specifically for crafters and gamers. If you think about it, gamers have those same issues, right? Maybe not so much with the tension, but definitely with arm fatigue and hand fatigue. So, I know this is going to get big. This box is heavy. Let me pull that off there. So, here it is so far. I wanted just full disclosure to you guys because this is not an inexpensive item. That said, I can offer a 15% off code, and I put that up on my website now. I have not reviewed this yet, but if you are interested, I have put the 15% up code. I'm going to be reviewing it. I'm going to be talking very honestly about it. I told the company, I said, you know, if I love it, then I will tell people that. But I'm going to be very honest about it. So, let's see. We'll pull it out here. And there we are. All right. So this is the inside. I think, yes, there is a cover. I'm going to say I wasn't done with that box. There is a cover as well. I was going to say, I don't remember it being black. So there's a cover, and I loved the cover separate. I actually didn't realize the cover was separate. This is good because I'll be able to take this off and wash it. That was actually one of the things with my boppy. I didn't have the covers for it, so washing it was a real pain. But here we have it. Look at this. It's expanding already. I'm actually impressed by how much bigger this has gotten already. Woo! There we are. Look at that. It's huge. And so, yeah, it said give it a couple days, but it's clearly, I could not get it back in the box right now. I'll tell you that for sure. This is a big boy. Now, they do sell little handles separately. I know that you can snap it around your waist, but I don't see myself walking around with this very often. But I can see how it definitely would work. You just kind of, whoop, sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Whoops, there we go. Anyway, you put it around your waist, and then it's going to give you that arm support. I know now I'm off camera, aren't I? But let me sit on my foot for a second, get myself up a little higher. There we go. So yeah, I can see that feels pretty good. That feels pretty darn good. So like I say, I'm still expanding it. You just saw me open it, but I'm intrigued. I'm excited. You know, sometimes I spend a lot of hours crocheting, and I'm sure you do too, and a lot of hours stitching. And I can see how this is going to be a real big bonus. The hard part's going to be getting my kids not to steal it for their video games. But I think that's really lovely. I'm excited to give this a try. Let's see. Grammy Katie Crochet, aka Catherine, says, I have a Valari and love it. That's wonderful to hear. Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm really excited. I've heard only good things, but of course, I will always want to be honest with you guys. So here is that cover. Let's pull that out. I opted for suede, and I picked lighter colors. I wanted lighter colors, and I did that very intentionally. So these were some of the lighter ones. You can see, okay, the cover has the little bits if you want to attach a longer extension to it, or it looks like this snaps right here. So that's cool. So the straps they sell then are extensions to make it go a little wider, which is really great. But here we have the cover, and I went with suede. I wanted something easy to wash and take care of. And the reason I chose lighter colors is because while black is certainly very practical and matches most of my clothing, when I'm crocheting or when I'm working with a darker colored yarn, I always advise you guys, to have a light colored background if you can, have some bright lighting. So I wanted to make sure, to set myself up for success and have a nice light, bright side that I could have sort of facing up at me while I'm working. So this is the one I picked out. I like it so far. It seems to be well constructed. It's got a zipper that the pillow goes into. Let's see. Seems to be sewn in pretty well. Pretty well here. Seams are serged, so that's great to see. So yeah, I'm excited to give it a try. I have a larger project I'm working on right now, so I'm excited to definitely use this as I work on that. But I think this is really lovely. So you can look forward to seeing some more about the Valari from me. If I do like it, I'll probably be posting about it a couple times a month. And like I say, and the great thing is, one of the reasons I really wanted to do it is because it is a bigger item, and they gave me a 15% off code for everybody. So that's already up on the website. Even if, even if it turns out I don't like it, that 15% code is up there. And it definitely does have a lot of fans, and so far, I'm definitely excited to give it a whirl, so yay, thank you. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. Oh, and Julia says she loves it as well. It's helped with your elbows and shoulders. That's awesome. That's good to hear. Especially as I get older, I notice my right shoulder. I don't think it has anything to do with crochet, but my right shoulder isn't in love with me anymore. And anything to help is very welcome. So, yay. Oh, I'm got Adrian, you were saying you were just talking to your husband about buying one of those pillows. Yes, and that's why, I was like, let's get that coupon up there right away for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to give it a whirl. It is, yeah, I'll just go ahead and tell you, the code is Moogly Blog 15, but definitely go over to my site. All the lists, I print out the list that I tell you guys about before I come on, just to make sure I cover everything. And I've got a link right to it right there. So I'm excited. I'm excited to give that a whirl. I'm glad you guys like it. So that is, I think, just about everything I have to show you. But I do want to make sure you guys know where I'm going to be this year. Fingers crossed, traveling happens this year. I will be next week. This one's definitely happening. Next week, I will be in Chicago for Stitch Up Chicago, which is sold out. So if you're going to be there, that's awesome and excited to see you. But the reason I'm still telling you about it, even though it's sold out, is because there is a Knit for Food event going on online as part of the event. It'll be part of Saturday, I believe. And that is going to be led by Patty Lyons, who's fantastic, and she'll be there as well. So I've linked to all that so you can learn all about it. Knit for Food is sort of like a walkathon, but it's a knit-a-thon fundraiser, and they support some really wonderful food banks and different initiatives around the world or around the country, I should say. So that is happening first, and then we're jumping ahead all the way to June, which is probably closer than it should be. But we have a Lancaster Yarn Shop one-day crocheters retreat that is in Intercourse, Pennsylvania, at the Lancaster Yarn Shop, and it is a full-day retreat. Like any of these events I'm going to, a lot of times I'm kind of just there to teach. So if you have like specific like logistical questions, it's definitely better to reach out to them. They're the ones who set all that up. I just kind of come in, teach, and enjoy my time with you. So then I will be, and I mentioned this one already, I will be in Reno in July for the Chain Space Retreat, and that one's July 24th through the 27th. So if you're in the Reno area or want to be in the Reno area, want to check out Jimmy Bean's Wool in person, then that is definitely not to be missed. I've been to Reno a couple times. I've been to Jimmy Bean's Wool a couple of times, and I'm genuinely so excited to go back. Then we've got the Cozy Stitches, a fall crochet retreat in person at Big Raven Farm, Minnesota. That one's in October. So that one is going to be a very different. Normally, when I go teach, we come in and we talk about a specific topic, whatever it is. It might be poulade or amigurumi or mosaic crochet. This one, we're going to be kind of delving into the art of crochet. So, in terms of techniques, I'll be talking about things like tapestry and free form, scrumbling. We're going to be doing some of that. We're going to be talking about appliques and just ways that you can express yourself artistically through crochet. So that one's going to be very, very different. It's sort of a combination crochet and yoga retreat on a really beautiful setting. It's going to be very small, but very intimate and very exciting. So that's in October. Then I'll jump back a month, September. I'm going to Scotland with craft tours. That's going to be amazing. It's so much more than I feel like I've been talking about that one forever, but that's because the international trips, the cutoffs are so early. So we're going to Scotland in September, but the cutoff for that is like May 6th. So simply because international travel these days, as you can only imagine, takes a lot of planning, a lot of setup, getting visas and paperwork and everything. So the cutoff for that is in May. So if you want to go to Scotland in September with me, then you need to sign up basically here this coming month would be our cutoff. Then again, we're hoping to go overseas in December to Austria and Bavaria, and that one is specifically for the Christmas markets. So on both of those international trips, I'm going to be teaching a couple of crochet workshops as we go, but the majority of the trip is going to be hanging out, eating, shopping, doing crafts, exploring the beautiful countries that we're lucky enough to be in. So fingers crossed that all of those we're able to go to all of those. I believe the December cutoff is in the beginning of August, so we've got a little bit more time to decide on that one, but not a whole lot. It's just the nature of international travel. We can't lead that one up to the last minute for sure. So Lee, oh, wonderful. Adrian says, when you go through the link, my link for the Valari, it automatically adds the 15% off. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know. That is fantastic. So hi, Morgan Mandy. Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, so those are the trips. Now, I'll be back online with you guys April 9th, right here, to have another crochet and chat. That is the big travel plans for the year. So it's 2025. I think, most of us are aware the world's a little crazy, but I really have high hopes that we can do these trips together. I think it's going to be a fantastic break, sort of a little chance to step back, reset, spend some time together and just stitch. So definitely, so glad you're looking up the different retreats, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all you guys' support for all the different patterns and everything else. I really, really appreciate it. I've got some really great things in the works for you. I'm working actually on a sweater right now that I hope to have out this summer because it's really lightweight, but I might need some testers for that one in different sizes. So keep an eye out for that as well. Otherwise, I think that is it for today. So, yeah, I've got lots more stitching to do, and I still haven't finished my coffee yet. So, I'm going to go do that. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I really enjoyed spending this time with you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to spending another time with you here April 9th. We'll be back with another crochet and chat. In the meantime, always feel free to send me a message. Email is best. You can use the contact me form on Moogly, whatever is easy. I love hearing your comments and your suggestions and requests. If you're thinking, well, gosh, I love all these little cloths, but I really wish she'd made an XYZ, let me know. I'll put it on the list. Like I say, I love taking your requests. It makes me happy to be able to make your dreams come true. So that's awesome. Shannon, I look forward to seeing you in April as well. And I hope everybody has a really fantastic rest of the month. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.